Good morning, bride. I just want to share where I'm at in my journey at this point in time. The other day, my daughter came and spoke to me about something that really shocked me. And immediately I thought of in Love at Last, there's a course called Restore Your Relationships, RYR. And why I remember that is Isabella, who is the language ministry franchise of Homegrown Ministries. She mentioned that this course really helped her so much when she was going through a lot of struggles with her daughter Bethia. And I mean, you need to hear her testimony because God has just worked so amazingly in her situation. But when my daughter came in and spoke to me, as I said, I was so shocked. And so I remembered that Isabella had shared that this course had helped her so much. So I went and I started reading the first chapter, and immediately it reminded me of chapter 1 of how God can and will restore your marriage. And it was just taking me back to when I read how God can and will restore your marriage. And the scriptures are, and what shared is very similar. It's almost like a mirror image, but it just goes into more detail about restoring your relationship. And there's such a lot of amazing scriptures which I've now written down and I'm meditating on them. And it's just so wonderful because I'm just having such a nice time writing these scriptures down, making notes, speaking to my husband about them. And it's just given me so much encouragement and just knowing that, you know what, nothing is impossible for God and that all things work together for good. He's working this out for my daughter's good. Now, I just want to say that I'm not at a place where I can share in detail about what happened or what my daughter shared with me because I promised her that I would not share it with anyone. But she's 16 years old, and you can imagine with her being at school, the influences, and more and more I feel that it would have been so much better if I could have homeschooled my kids, but I'm not in that place because, as I said, my marriage is restored, and so I'm submitting to my earthly husband. I have mentioned it to him about homeschooling, but it's not something that he wants to do. And so, you know what? My husband is in control. And so I'm just sharing this podcast with you because I just want you to know that whether you are trusting God to restore your marriage or whether you're trusting Him to restore a relationship, these books that I've mentioned, how God can and will restore your marriage or restore your relationships, they are both really good and awesome resources. And I want to encourage you to any of our resources. If you are reading any one of our books, be sure to write down these scriptures and meditate on these scriptures. God's word says we've got to meditate on His word day or night, day and night, sorry. So be sure to meditate on His word. Don't just read something and leave it at that. Write down the scriptures. It's really, really important. Whether you write it in a notebook or on 3x5 cards, God's word is sharper than a two-edged sword. And God's word says that we are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So I just want to say that my relationship with my daughter is not, there's nothing wrong with my relationship with her, but there is stuff that's happening in her life that I'm really concerned about. But as I said, He showed me which course would help me, where I could get scriptures that I could meditate on, and that would give me so much hope for the situation. So, this is just what I want to share in this podcast. I'll leave the links to the two resources for you. Hi there, ladies. Please come and visit us at hopeatlast.com. Click on blog where we share daily praise reports, ministry information, lessons, and ministry resources. You can sign up to receive our daily newsletter. You can click on free courses for our free marriage courses, and you can click on our give button, which will take you to PayPal, where you can donate and give and sow into the fertile soil of restoring marriages.